The flood. It came only a couple of weeks ago. This virus ravaged organic mass, destroying everything. You see a palish, greenish human. That's no human. Titans, monsters, these things are. They just. I have almost no hope anymore. I come back into the world and I just think about what to do. I kinda just walk around. I have no idea what to do. I decide to fortify my base more, so I start to build. As I was gathering resources, I was picturing in my mind what to build. I saw my chickens had escaped, so I got those back inside ASAP. I will definitely need the chickens later on. They provide feathers for bolts, arrows, and stuff like that. I was going for like a compound fenced-in vibe. I hate the deep slate, like ugly piece of. It just looks bad. I want to get rid of it, but to do that, I have to like first build a wall that can allow me to survive without being hoarded by all the flood. I go down to the mines to get ores, more materials for stuff. I look in this cave to see if there is any extra ores I forgot. Of course there wasn't, because I looked through the caves very thoroughly. There were a couple extra ores I got. Nothing that good besides the diamond. There was this one spot that I had no torches. I wanted to explore, but I just decided not to. I looked around, saw nothing, and just went back to the main cave. I'm going to get this lava. I actually have no idea what I'm going to use lava for now. Maybe I'll make some like different pits around the place. As I was walking around this corner, this creeper came out of nowhere. Thought it was a flood creature of some sort. I realized the game is way too loud, so I turned down my volume by 20%. I go back and I remember there being unexplored areas over here. So I go over here. It's pretty dark. I don't know if I should go down here, because there might be flood creatures. I go down into the unlit area. There's not much fire or stuff like that. I start to hear some stuff. I don't know what it is, but I definitely heard something. I'll go down this small crevice and enter a big ravine place. Then I see something run towards me. It's a giant centipede. Huge centipede. I stack up and I just did not want. That was so creepy. It like gives me shivers down my spine. It was a big centipede. I have encountered these before in different mods I played, and they're just horrifying. I gathered some magma in case I wanted to make a little magma moat to keep the flood away. Then I found this sulfur stuff. I knew sulfur was like for explosives or something, so I look at the crafting recipes, and it in fact did make gunpowder, so I was definitely going to start getting this stuff. I continue to mine the rest of it. I head back to the surface. What am I talking about? Just a what? I'm going to the surface to get to my base. But on the way there, I found another part of the water cave. And water caves generate more ores, and that was good. I go to get the rest of my breath, and after I have more air, organize my inventory, and set off to mine if there are any ores in the water cave. And yes, there was a lot of iron here. This was going to be so helpful. After mining all the iron, I went back to the surface. I kind of got confused because I forgot I blocked out the area. Thought this was like a different mine I made. This chicken I could not get past. Its hitbox was just pushing me out of the way, so I just came out from a different angle. I can't believe this was a challenge for me. I got the copper that was smelting in the furnace and looked up if I could make copper armor. Nope, it is an older version of Minecraft. There is no copper armor. But there was copper bolts, and they're cheap, and they do a mild amount of damage. I probably will stick to iron. I don't know. Right now I'm doing copper because I will definitely run out of iron. With the iron, I make bolts, copper bolts. And I load my crossbow for the first time. I am going to enjoy using this. I felt powerful with this, so I went out to see if there were any flood creatures. I saw a pot infector in the water. I didn't see anything else, so I just thought of what to do next. What is important? What must get done to survive the flood? As I was thinking about this, I thought of the flood. Could they dig? Are they able to break blocks? Probably not. I have no idea. I actually don't even know how old this mod is. It might be a newer mod in development or not. I don't know. I made some shovels because I realized that the flood, there's this little mound of... there's a mountain next to my wall that they could jump over, not a mound of dirt. So I make the shovels and stuff needed to excavate the area, make that less tall so they can't jump over. I also looked at the stuff you can make with diamonds, because I was considering making a diamond shovel. But let's all agree that's a stupid idea. Here I find out that titanium is a pretty good material. You can use it to make tools and armor, like pretty much any other ore, but it's as good as diamond. I kind of just searched through the thing. I honestly don't know what I'm doing here. Looking at stuff. What painting is that? It's like a dog in a Christmas outfit. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, you can finally see my hotbar. It was so annoying that the last 2 episodes was like half the hotbar was cut out. I'm very happy to have that back. Also, if there's something about the video y'all don't like, please comment down below and tell me if what y'all don't like so I can change it, make it better, more entertaining. I finally start to excavate the little mound of dirt by my fence. It's honestly quite satisfying to watch me mine this, like in a fast mode. I look around. I try shooting a pot infector with the pistol. I missed so miserably. I thought the bullet would go straight, but it arches like a bow, but it doesn't arch as much as a bow shot. I thought this would be good, but they can easily still jump over the fence. But I didn't want to dig out more of the hill, so I just added another part to the fence, made it taller. I have the slabs on top of the bars. I add them because a lot of the flood creatures can climb, and the overhang stops them from going over the wall. They can, in fact, climb the main pillars, though. I actually need to do that next episode. Anyways, I make more of the barbed fences and go outside to use them on the fence. I start building another section. Never mind. I start to build more of the fence out frames. What would I call this? A wall? Yeah, of course it's a wall, but like a fence wall. I'm just gonna call it a fence wall. Anyways, I found out that if you add a single piece of dye to the titanium armor, it becomes way stronger. I thought that was a little silly, but I'm gonna make use of it. I did not have green dye, but I did in fact have black dye. And black armor, what is it called? I don't know. It looks better. If I can get a full set of this, I'll have like netherite armor. And that would be awesome. It's turning night, so I want to make this quick to go find black dye. I look around to make sure there's nothing else. And nope, I do not go find black dye. I go back down. And what am I doing? I'm leading chickens inside. How do they keep on escaping? I swear I brought them in. Can they climb the ladder? I go to bed because I don't want to deal with the flood. I don't want this series to end slowly. End slowly. No, I mean end quickly. Whoops. I go out and see that there is a flood zombie. That sounds terrible. I'm just going to say the flood. I see... No, that's not specific. Flood zombie. I'm calling it flood zombie. I see a flooded zombie. And here I test out my crossbow. It worked. It shot, but I missed. Kind of a waste of bullets. I barely have any arrows. Here's the problem again. The flood just despawns so easily. I go over there, and it's just gone. I hate that. I'm really hoping that in the later stages of the mod, they make it to where the flood don't despawn easily for the mod creators. Like, you can't actually see them from afar, too. Like, I'll see a zombie fighting in the distance, but I can't see what it's fighting, and I know it's the flood, because other vanilla mobs are loaded in, too. So I think that's a problem. Maybe it's to reduce lag. I don't know. Maybe it's just a design flaw. I try to think of what to do. I think I may have had black dye at my old base, so I go over there. No flood creatures. Nope, there's a pod infector right there, attacking some flying fish. I'm a little bit scared to go in the water. The evil tadpoles, they're almost gone, because they all turned into the pod infectors. These guys just stay here. I wonder if they spawn infinitely. If they spawn infinitely, that's just kind of bad. It'd be funny if I made a farm. Then I realized there's squid. And when you kill a squid, it drops ink. Ink can be turned into black dye. So I killed this one, it dropped nothing. And then I killed the second one, and it did in fact drop some ink sacs. With those ink sacs, I'm going to make black dye. I think it was SWAT armor. I'm very excited about the SWAT armor. I think it's going to look good. My skin is black, so it'll kind of go together. I'm not sure. I start to head up the mountain back to my base. I look behind me just to make sure there's no pod infectors. Going up the hill, I think of nothing because my brain is dead. These chickens make it so hard to edit when I'm building, because I edit to make sure the placing the block sound is in the building montage, but then they cluck, and it interferes with that, and it's really hard to edit with this. After that, I start to make the armor. I want to make a chest plate, but when I look at it, it's like different. It has a different name. It's like heavy or light black chest plate. So here is where I find out that the chest plate is a lot harder to make. It requires this plate thingy, armor plate, and that is a lot of iron to make. It's like 40 iron or something. If I get one villager, I'm making an iron farm with that. An iron farm will be infinitely useful. I can extend my base. I can make infinite tools and armor to go mining with, to get more diamonds, minerals, all that type of stuff. I thought there was copper armor again, but there wasn't. And that disappointed me because I wanted to save my iron. I didn't want to make iron boots. I wanted to make copper boots. I would go outside to make sure we're all good and there's not really anything out there besides a couple of pod infectors in the water. I don't know why I hold my shield out. Well, I know why I hold my shield out. It makes me feel safe, even though there's no enemy at the moment. Well, this enemy is always there. It's just hiding, evolving, getting stronger every day. I start to fill out the little holes in my base, and I started to build again, I think, maybe? Yeah, no. I mine out the little hill by the area, not the area, the base. That way the flood can't jump over it, and it just looks nicer. I terraform a bit and start to building. I run out of cobblestone, so I go back to the mine to get some. Was it cobblestone? I think it was cobblestone. Yes, it was cobblestone. While I was mining, I knew I'd run out of iron, and I wanted to go mining soon. Here I realized that the tungsten from the Dawn of the Flood mod, you can use it to make a gun table. And who does not like guns? I almost said gloves. That's actually crazy how I almost said gloves. I return them to the surface and start to just make the base look nicer. I also wondered, how expensive is steel exactly? It takes 4 iron to make 1 piece of it. It's insanely expensive. Here I see that the vanilla mobs are fighting something. You can't see it, but it is the flood. It's what I talked about before. You cannot see the flood from far away. You can see the things that are angry at it. Everything's angry at the flood. They're ugly looking and attack everybody. I make buttons for the door, and just what? I start to tear down the house, and I get distracted again. I don't know why I went to look at the fence. I bring the chickens over to the chicken coop I built. I brought a slab over. These chickens don't want the seeds at all. Then I heard the flood. I was skeptical to go out. I didn't know what flood creature it was. When the alien spaceship crashed, a pod infector made a noise like that, so I thought it was another pod infector. I go out, hold up my shield, and when I go over here, I found out this is not a pod infector. This is definitely not a pod infector. This is this guy jumping all over the place. This guy can jump so far. Killed him 2 hits. Like, what was the last guy? Was he on some type of drugs or something? The first guy I met was like tanky and did a lot of damage and jump scared me. So when I beat this guy in 2 hits, I'm like super confused. That's it? I wonder if the vanilla mobs battle it first and it was at low health. I killed the spiders for string. This spider is like slow to react. I hit it. 10 seconds later, it realizes, oh, I'm supposed to be angry at the player. Comes over, I kill it. Here I just mess around. I almost died. If the skeleton hit the creeper past my shield, I would have died and gotten blown up by the creeper. I look around to make sure there's no more flood creatures, and I see nothing. Then I start to mine the hill behind the fence, so the flood can't jump over it. The mountaintop right here, where I plant the birch trees, flood can easily jump over. So I'm thinking about adding a roof to the build. But then I want this to be open, like I'm able to see stuff, not see a wall. I finally moved my stuff from the basement to level area. I shuffle through the stuff to get the chest, and then I put all the blocks in there. I'm gonna have a blocks chest, food, natural stuff chest, and a good loot chest, where all the ores and stuff go. Pretty much all the good loot. I make an axe because I ran out of wood. I make an axe to mine birch trees. The birch trees are going to help with all types of stuff, everything you make wood with. Why am I acting like this wood is special? Use it for all types of stuff. I added a tree miner mod. That way it just makes mining trees easier. I decide that replanting is a good idea. That way I can have more trees. Oh, that's the point of replanting, to have more trees. There's not many good spots to plant the trees because it's not flat ground, and I'm afraid that the tree will not grow if it's not on flat ground. Come to think of it, do the trees need water to grow? No, they don't need water to grow. This is Minecraft, not real life. What if I added a mod like that makes it more realistic like that, the plants and stuff? I walk around the base just to get an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. I have short-term memory loss. I'm not kidding. I cannot remember what I'm doing. I craft more chests and start upgrading my storage unit. I try to open the chest and realize there's a block above it. You cannot open chests when there's a block above it. If you put a stair above a chest, it will still open, which is a neat building trick. I put all the natural stuff in the chest and take the natural stuff out of the bottom chest. Oh, that's why I raised my shield. I was starting to question, why'd I do that? I hear the Enderman outside, and it's calling for me to kill it. So I go outside with a boat. A neat trick in Minecraft is if you place a boat by a mob, it will get in the boat, and it cannot leave the boat. Therefore, you can kill it, but it can't kill you. So I look in the Enderman's eye, get it angry, and then it starts to TP over, teleport over. In Java Edition, if you stare it down in the eyes, it cannot move. So I just did that. Here it jumps me. It's already at half health with the health indicators you can see. I place the boat, it hops in, then I just kill it. I get the ender pearl, which is going to be nice. I place some furnaces, more chests. Then I start to rearrange my inventory. I get distracted by the sulfur again, and I start to smelt it as well. Here I fall in the hole, go back up, and I look around, just trying to think of what to do. I start looking at the sulfur, make sure it's all smelted. Make sure it's all smelted, really? That's crazy. I look at the stuff that gunpowder can make, which the sulfur can make. There are different types of mines from different mods, landmines. And the security craft landmines, I think, is going to be the best. I think. I go down and start to just scroll the entire thing. I wanted to find a block that can work as the roof, and I can see through it. The rope looked promising, but I did not have the straw or whatever I needed to make that stuff. And the flood could probably break it, come to think of it. I find absolutely nothing that suits the job. At one point, I thought I could use a tablecloth, and I'm pretty sure that's even less sturdy than a rope thing. I scroll through what copper can make, and I find this little I don't know what to call it. It's like you put sand in it. An hourglass, yes, an hourglass. I really like those tiny little things you can make just to add decoration to bases. I will get that thing, episode 4. I wonder if there will be an episode 5. What if I die all 3 times in the 4th episode? I don't think that's going to be the case. This base can hold off about anything. No, it can just jump the wall because of the mountain. After I mine that, then it's impenetrable, besides for flying creatures. And maybe ones that dig for underground. Okay, this base definitely needs a lot more work. I finally decide to start mining the thing. I forget that I hadn't blocked off the wall, so I blocked that off. This dark... Okay, never mind. The little hut I made is finally gone. I don't know why. I came up to the ladder, place barbed wire, walk in the barbed wire, and mine it with a stone pickaxe, even though it's supposed to be mined with an iron. I was brain dead here. It actually infuriates me. I mine for the iron, and I just waste it on stupid stuff like this. This infuriates me, the fact that I waste iron like this. I just need to stop doing this. To be honest, this is my first time doing that, so... I'll look around to make sure I got everything done and stuff. I go down to the mines to get blackstone. There's this cool block you can make. It's like checkered floor that I really liked it. And I was going to add that to the interior of the base for the flooring. I was going to have a little yard in it, and then the actual base itself. Well, I guess the entire thing's a base. The rest of the video, I will just pause at these random times for no reason. I wonder if there's like a show going on in the background. Anyways, I go outside and see if there's anything funny going on. There's nothing. I'm starting to get annoyed why I just hold my shield up every time I walk out the front door. If there's an enemy outside in the front door, I can look through the fence to see if there's an enemy at the front door. It's actually stupid. I look behind the base where I actually can't see to make sure there's nothing going on. There is nothing going on. This is mainly just building this episode and mining. Though later on in this episode, I come so close to death. I don't know how I'm still alive, to be honest. I go back to the base, and I can see how easy it is for the flood to jump over. Like, they can jump 5 blocks, and that's like a 2-block jump. It's easy for them to get over. In real life, 1 block is 3 feet. Oh, here I go. I pause. Just do nothing. 1 block is 3 feet in real life. So if you think about it, if the flood can jump 5 blocks, 3 times 5 is 15. That's 15 feet, which is honestly insane. Here is the blocks I place, and they honestly look really good as the floor. I did not like how I had dirt walls. I needed to fix that. To make the door to my base, I was going to use a birch door because I had no other wood type unless I wanted to use another iron door. I have extra iron doors. Why not just do that? I don't know what I was doing here. I placed birch wall log thing. Nope, I paused again. Brain dead. Okay, I placed the birch wall thing. It didn't work out because there's like a gap between the door and the wall. So I decided to just use the brick. It did not look too bad. I feel like there's too much brick. Here, instead of making a wall, I wanted to be able to access the chickens from the inside and the outside. So I'm going to extend the chicken pen right here. I mine that and place that back. I go around because the other block came over here. The chickens started to escape, and I needed to act fast. Oh, nope, they're all out. I acted slow. I looked through the chests to see what building blocks I had. I did not know I had this many chickens. There's actually a lot of them. I lead them back in with the seeds. I put the seeds in my offhand, that way I can mine, and the chickens will still follow me. I mine the walls, move it back 1 block, then I go back into the corner more, that way the chickens will follow. Place the final wall, and there's a hidden mechanic with doors. It's 2 blocks tall, so if you place it, go in right there, the door is invisible, and you can jump on it because it's 2 blocks. I use that to escape the chicken pen. I explained that so horribly. The clip is too short, whatever. I didn't like this little stud right here, little corner post to the pen. So I mine it and just replace it with a normal wall. Mine this slab. I thought that looks a lot way better. Anyways, I try to think of what next to do. I'm always thinking of what next to do. Productiveness will get you through this type of stuff. An apocalypse. I look to see what time of day it is. It's slowly turning night. Hope I go brain dead for a sec there. I throw some eggs, get 1 baby chicken. It usually takes me 30 quintillion eggs to get a baby chicken. I'm surprised I got it there. I want to finish this wall right here. Oh, no, I actually start to fill in with dirt. I replace the floor with dirt to make it look nicer, not like a stone flooring. This will be like the yard part of the base, where I make a farm for the sustainable food source part of the challenge. This comes together pretty nicely. I hop down and collect all the materials that drop down here. In the chest, there's still like the really good loot and stuff. I look to see if nail traps, if I can like. I wish you could place these. I really do. They should add that where you can place the nails. No, there's already a nail trap. You just make 9 nails to make 1 nail trap. That's already a thing. Never mind. There's a taser, and I kind of want to make that too. This is the hourglass. I want to make that. That's our hourglass. Holy cow. I try to get up. I did get up. Place a torch for light so no mobs will spawn. I start to organize my inventory again. And I go outside. It's turning night. And tonight, I want to battle the flood. The more flood you kill, it takes away points from the flood. The more points the flood has, the more mobs, the stronger mobs that spawn, the more amount of mobs that spawn, flood mobs. So killing them is a good thing. I'm a little skeptical to go out, so I like camp in my base for a little longer, make excuses to myself to stay in and not go battle. This has to be done. I will battle the flood. I go out on the water because I don't want to just battle up front. I look around to make sure there's nothing there, and I see a infected, flooded villager chasing some fish. It's picking on some fish. I choose to battle it. Swims down, and I kill it before it can swing its claw at me. It drops the thingy mabobber, ripped flesh or something like that. I just boat around because I don't want to go on land. I boat around, and I hear this. That is the sound of an infected Enderman. A flooded Enderman. That is really bad because that's a high tier mob. And it probably will one-tap me. I decide if I should run from my home, and I book it to the shipwreck. I decide that, no, it does not own my home, so I go back and take damage and realize there's a pod infector behind me. I don't care about the pod infector because it's a little itsy bitsy thing with 2 HP. I go back into the house and see if my barbed wire will work. No, I don't. I kill the mobs. I'm so bad at killing creepers. Like, watch this. Boom. It just destroys my front yard. I kill the zombie, look around. My little shack on the other side of the bay is like a beacon every time I look that direction. I go up the mountain to get a good perspective on things to see what's going on. I want to look down. There's never anything here, but then there is. There is a new flood creature. This thing looks like a flooded zombie, but like bulky. I shoot it with my crossbow, killing it. But when I go down, I realize that the zombie is running after something down there. I look up to make sure there's nothing else. There's this green blood from the guy, I guess. There's another one, and it's going for the fish. I kill it, and there's like 10 quintillion little pod thingies, the pod infectors. I shoot it, and they like explode everywhere. Yeah, I don't like them. They have like little tentacles and stuff. I see this little white thing, and it looks like a blade of some sort. I don't know. I go over and see what it is. There's nothing. I get scared of the pod infectors, so I go back up on the mountain where it's safe. There's a creeper. Is it gonna blow up? No, I'm just gonna let it blow up. I always let it blow up. It's actually ridiculous. I look over there. I look on the other side and see the flood, and I need to go deal with that. It latches onto the skeleton head and then blows up. I don't like that. It's disgusting. Imagine, what's that show? The Xenomorph show? The facehugger like latches onto your face and lays eggs in you. It does the opposite. No, it still latches onto your face, but it blows up in your face. I'm skeptical to go over there because I feel like I'm gonna die. Like I almost died last time I went over there. I go over there just to make sure it's not World War III like last time. As I'm going over there, zombies auto go on me. It starts raining. I feel like something bad's about to happen. There's no flood. Absolutely none. The vanilla mobs did a good job killing them. Like, W for the vanilla mobs. I dodge the zombies by going around them and start to head back to the base. This is where things get out of hand. A pod infector comes up to me. I bat it down as it latches onto my face. But when I go around to my front yard, there's like 1,000 pod infectors. Blows up on my face, doing 3 hearts damage. This thing with a totem of undying beams me with something, I don't know what. I go in the water, I'm still poisoned at half a heart. I swim away to safety, eat to regain my health, and one by one hit the little floodlings, the pod infectors. Why does the flood have totems of undying? That is so unfair. Why does it have totems of undying? If you don't know, totems, when you hold one, if you were to die, it saves you from death. I wanted to kill that thing to get the totem. But then I realized, if I kill it, it's going to use the totem. So, that's just not going to work out. I head back to my base, but I realized there's no button to get in. It was blown up by the creeper. I go in and there's a flood. I prepare for it to come through the front door. It leaves me and I'm like super confused. Where is it going? There's a hole in the wall. I can't believe I didn't do this. Why does it do so much damage? It does actually so much damage. I need better armor. If I didn't make those SWAT leggings, I would have died. I'm glad I made those. I block up the hole. I don't know what to do. It's like the flood do more damage every day. Like, when they crashed, the flood barely did any damage. That's why I was able to handle it with my trusty diamond saber. Now they're doing a lot of damage. Latching onto my head and blowing up. I go outside to make sure there's nothing else. I don't see anything. There's nothing. Then I hear something. Very close. An explosion. I get scared, go inside. Realize, oh, there's no button inside. So I have to mine the door again and place the door down. I look outside to make sure there's nothing else. I go in my little place that has an extra wall for safety. Then I realize there's this like white stuff all in the chest. Looks like mold of some sort. I wonder if there's such thing as an infected chest. Infected chest. That sounds so goofy. I don't like it because I can't see like the slot. Nothing else is like that. It's just the chest. So I realized that anything I mine also has like this weird stuff. I realize it's a bug, and I don't like bugs, so I try to fix it. I think it's like a resource pack problem. I have no resource packs activated right now, so it can't be. I'm hoping this goes away in episode 4. If it doesn't, that's going to be a problem. I don't know what to do. I just hang around the base. I decide to go out real quick just to make sure there's nothing else. And boom, there's a flood zombie. It hits me. I try to hit it and miss every time. It hits me a bunch. It's not doing any damage for some reason. A creeper blows up and kills it. It hits the ground really hard because it's heavy. And it's like a dead corpse. It's honestly super cool. It moves way too easy though. Like I bump in it, it goes flying. I push it down to the ground because I don't want a rotting body by my base. I look around and decide to just go up. I feel like the flood can easily kill me. I don't know why that guy didn't do damage. Again, I have to mine into my house to get in because I still haven't put a button. I go in my humble abode. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. It allows me to make more content like this for y'all to enjoy.